cotton wasn't profitable. The market had globalized sufficiently that the price of cotton had gone down. So the time when cotton was king was gone. But the cotton farmers, the white cotton farmers, still like black people growing cotton, and exclusively cotton, because that kept them under control through debt and crop liens, right? And a crop lien is when like the white owner, functionally the guy who owns the property, takes a share of your crop every year in lieu of giving you the tools to farm your crop. And it turns out that black people, would you believe, we always ended up in debt. So we'd farm, we'd give the owner the crop, and then it turns out, instead of paying us a fair price, he would say like, well, you almost made it back this year. You almost made it even, but you're still in the red. Sorry, maybe next year. And since education was dicey at that time and the books weren't open, we had to take the white owner's word for it that our crop wasn't enough crop. So these crop liens kept, but the farmer would also offer script. So you had these plantation stores where black people could go and buy food and wares, and where they had to buy food and wares because that was the only place that the plantation script would work, right? So black people couldn't actually grow their own fruits and vegetables because they were growing cotton. Not for profit, but to get out of this debt, which magically never went away. And white farmers weren't exactly making a ton of money, but they were keeping Negroes in control, which is what they wanted anyway. People think, the racial hierarchy is held together by exploitation and profit, but it's really not held together by exploitation and profit. It's held together by power. Power. White people like having a class under them, even if they have to pay for it, even if they have to work their other job in order to keep a class under them. So it's held together by prestige and power over an underclass, not necessarily profit. It'll be unprofitable, and white people would still like a slave class because they like slaves, right? So you have to understand that one reason why those planters didn't grow fruits and vegetables to sell to the North, because the North would have bought them and the planters would have made money, was because that would have allowed rampant fruits and vegetables to be grown in the American South, and black people might have it would have destabilized the control that really the cotton economy sustained, right? So even though cotton wasn't profitable in the early 20th century, there was still a cotton economy because the cotton economy was the means of control. People think, the racial hierarchy is held together by exploitation and profit, but it's really not held together by exploitation and profit. It's held together by power. Power. White people like having a class under them, even if they have to pay for it, even if they have to work their other job in order to keep a class under them. So it's held together by prestige and power over an underclass, not necessarily profit. It'll be unprofitable, and white people would still like a slave class because they like slaves. So this idea that the planter class of white planters were just ruthless capitalists, no, they were white supremacists. Cotton was the means for the white supremacy. It wasn't necessarily a means for money. Right? They could have planted fruits and vegetables and gotten more money, but they wanted control over black masses of people. And they got that through a monoculture of cotton. And making it the case that black people it wouldn't be profitable or even possible for black people to grow their own food. Sarah Tauber. But just look up Jim Crow crop liens and just how you control black populations through debt. It's or through the promise that if they just work a little bit hard, if they just hustle harder. And this is the hustle ethic we're dealing with right now. People say, well, if you just hustle harder, you can make it. That's kind of like the Jim Crow farmer telling black people, well, if you just hustle more next year, maybe you'll get in the black. No, the secret isn't hustle harder. The secret is like wielding power where you have it.